Hello everyone, and welcome back to my show, Debating a Boomer. My name is Griffin, at least until the ritual is complete, and I'm here with my state-licensed boomer. And we are coming to you live from the No Pants Zone home theater.
A gorgeous home theater it is. And we saw movies at different times from different perspectives at different times in our lives.
Yeah.
We've reviewed a couple different franchises. This one, because it's our favorite time of year.
We are reviewing the Halloween franchise. See that? That's my Michael shirt. This is Michael with his house. Look, beautiful, beautiful stuff.
And I'm sitting on a kitchen knife.
As you should be too.
I saw Halloween when it came out. When it came out, I'm that old. That I was a teenager, a very young teenager, and they had advertised about this amazing horror movie, Halloween.
Yeah.
Just the name alone was like cool.
Spooky.
And it was something like the catchphrase was like the night he came home or something like that.
Yep.
And so you knew it was going to hit the fan. And I went in with all of my buddies, and we sat there, and I screamed like a ninny man.
That is absolutely wholesome, and I wish that there were recordings of your ninny screaming. Just, for the record. For me, obviously, a big age difference. I watched it for the first time on TV. I was 8 years old, and I had grown up, watching Godzilla and the old black and white Universal monster movies and all that, Dracula, Invisible Man. And Halloween was like the first grown-up horror movie that I watched. And it was late, it was on AMC, and I was fighting sleep because I wanted to stay up and watch this movie. I heard it was so scary and everything. And I watched the movie, and everything about it did not scare me, surprisingly, but absolutely entrapped me and inspired me to go on and make movies like that when I got older. From that moment on, I was like, I want to do that. And so, whereas like normal kids would have, nightmares and stuff, the next day when I went to school, I stabbed a kid.
What is yours?
I will say this right off the bat. Huge bias. Halloween 2 might be my favorite Halloween movie ever made.
Yeah.
So in that, my favorite kill is at one point, he comes out from behind a nurse and stabs her through the back with a scalpel. And then somehow, with superhuman strength, lifts her up into the air.
With just the scalpel.
The scalpel doesn't break, doesn't cut through her, just lifts her up and holds her there.
The craftsmanship was incredible, by the way.
Oh, American made.
Kudos also to the scalpel.
Beautiful. So he's holding her there, and I loved it because it was shot in different ways, because Laurie, who's doped out of her mind on, like, pain meds or whatever...
Right.
is looking at him through like this fisheye kind of thing, and she's like, is this really happening? Okay, this is really happening. And it really just kind of adds a level not only of just pure brutality and strength to Michael's character, but equally the WTF factor of if any other character did that, not believable, not immersed, I'm done. 0 stars. But because it's Michael Myers, yeah, sure, you can do that. Let him do it.
I have to say, and one of my favorites of all time, I've talked about this in my stand-up, I've talked about this on many shows, I love The Killing of Bob. I love The Killing of Bob. He picks, it's in the first Halloween, and if you don't know the scene, shame on you. Bob's iconic. Mike Myers lifts him up off his feet, puts him up against a wall, takes a kitchen knife, and stabs him in the stomach. Bob dies, and he lets go of the knife and steps back, and Bob's stuck to the wall. I don't know what kind of kitchen knives you use, but there's no way in hell a kitchen knife can go through a human body and still have enough knife left to pierce the wall. If you did it with a lance, that's fine. A spear, whatever. A kitchen knife, nah. Nah. I don't care how much to the hilt you put it. You figure Bob, Bob's an average guy. He's probably what?
180.
Yeah, 170, 180. That kitchen knife ain't gonna hold 180 pounds of sagging dude to a wall.
Sagging dude.
But when we saw it in the theaters, we all screamed. Mm-hmm. We were amazed. It was one of the coolest kills ever because of the
Michael rule.
Michael rule, the WTF factor.
Yeah.
Still one of the worst kills ever.
It's pretty bad. Like, the cabinets would have collapsed. Like, imagine if he's walking to go kill Linda in his little bedsheet ghost outfit with his glasses. You just hear, like, in the background, like, and he's just like...
Yeah, it's yeah.
He's just depressed.
It's just, yeah, it'd be funny if, well, actually...
Well...
In The Legend of Ugly Joe, we address this.
Once again, in Halloween 2, going off the same factor, the hot tub face melter scene where he's giving this naked nurse a whole face melting scalding water thing. Her head's turning into funnel cake. His hand is completely fine.
Yes.
Yeah, his hand not damaged whatsoever. No sign of injury. To him, it's just it's a little nippy. But yeah, he's completely fine. Yeah. She melts, and then he walks away.
Yeah, I tell you what's even even before that scene.
Yeah,
that I have problems with. So if I remember correctly, she's sitting there with her back to him. Mm-hmm. He kills the boyfriend.
Yeah.
That she's supposed to get in the hot tub with, and then walks up behind her, and she thinks it's the boyfriend, mm-hmm. and takes his hand, mm-hmm. and he's got this dirty ass grimy hand.
He's got blood and crap on it. Yeah.
Michael Myers, he's not like a bathe every day guy probably. He just strangled this guy and cut him up or whatever. Mm-hmm. He's still got blood on his hands, dirt, whatever else.
From the first movie.
Strangled dog on his hands.
Dog hair, yeah.
Yeah, whatever else. And she starts just like doing this sexy nibbling on his thumb.
Kibbles and bits on his fingers, yeah.
Just being all sexy, just sucking on his thumb and stuff. First off, I don't know what you think of your man. How do you not, how like a good brand of coffee, taste the difference? How do you not know what the hell were you doing on the other room? You just were in a bathtub and you come back and your hand, your dirty ass thumb is in my mouth.
You've got booty hands.
You got booty hands. What were you doing in that other room? And the fact that she's dirtier than he is because she's still nibbling away. Booty hands, I don't care, that's my man. I mean, some people would say that's true love, that's just nasty.
Like that one song whatever, this may just be the worst day of my life. Like, he is so disgusted.
Yeah.
And just...
He probably wouldn't have even killed her.
Yeah,
he probably was just walked away. But the nasty nibbler starts going nuts on his thumb and whatever. And you don't know, he doesn't have, like Dexter used to have those slides.
Yeah.
Dexter used to put the blood of his kills, a little drop on the slides and then hide them. Behind his air conditioning. Mm-hmm. Mike Myers don't have an apartment in Florida.
He got a piece of Bob under his thumb.
Exactly. He keeps it on his hand.
Yeah.
Mike Myers doesn't use air conditioning.
No.
And stuff. No. He's got to keep. This is his records.
Yeah.
That, for all you know, that's where he kept Bob. Right there under that nail.
Yeah.
I remember Bob. And now Bob's gone.
Yeah, because she nibbled.
Nasty nibble.
disgusting.
She had it coming. You don't do that to people.
You don't nasty nibble.
There's a scene, this is in the first Halloween,
Yeah.
where he's staked out looking for Michael Myers' home. He's outside Michael Myers' home.
The old Myers.
Hiding behind a bush because he thinks Michael's going to return there.
Yeah.
And it's Halloween night, and these kids, I think there's like 3 kids, punk kids, they're daring one of them to go up on the porch. I dare you to go up the porch of the old Myers house.
Yeah.
And he gets up there, and Loomis from behind the bush, I'll get the name wrong or whatever, but he says, "Lonnie, get your ass away from there." And the kids all scream and take off running. So that's funny enough. But then they cut back to Loomis, and he does this like little grin.
Yeah.
And his eyes just perk up full of life. And that's when you realize he's batshit crazy. It's not just like you were laughing because it was funny and you punked some kids. The look on his face.
He took delight in that.
In
damaging them.
He damaged them. That's the word.
Yeah.
That's the word. He wasn't doing it to be funny. He damaged them.
My favorite Loomis moment truly speaks to how wonderful Loomis is, but equally how much I didn't give a damn about this movie. I think it's in Halloween 5 when Loomis, who by now is completely batshit crazy, he's gone completely off his rocker, is talking with a mute Danielle Harris, and she has the
kid.
That's the little kid. She has the psychic link with Michael and all that, like Laurie did, and she's trying to articulate where Michael is, and he shoves this piece of paper, like almost like Doctor Strange palm strikes her with the piece of paper, and she starts muttering the directions of like this Wawa or something that has on the side of it a mural of a promiscuous woman holding like a tray of cookies or something, like an old pinup girl.
Okay.
And all I remember is Loomis like yelling at her and then just going, "Cookie woman!" and then taking off running in a random direction. He doesn't get into a car. He doesn't do anything. He's surrounded by cops, and he just goes, "Cookie woman!" and then just sprints in where the Cookie Woman is. It's the only thing I remember from Halloween 5.
This exists.
Cookie Woman! Yes.
We'll be right back. Real quick, though, I do want to say about Cookie Woman, I gotta say this. It will change your life. It will change your life. You mark life by events. And the biggest ones are the ones that you're not the same as you were before. When I married your mom, that would have been one. Mm-hmm. So before your mom, I had a life. After I married your mom, a whole nother life. With you guys. Before Dad, and then after Dad.
Yeah.
And the third one for me now is Cookie Woman. Cookie Woman. Before I was somebody before Cookie Woman. Now
you are a changed man.
This is a new life for me. This is I highly recommend it. What was the question?
Oh God. Not Michael, not Loomis. Who is your favorite character from any Halloween movie?
Well, I'm torn because I have emotional investment in somebody in the Halloween franchise.
Oh yeah.
Somebody very, very special to me.
Yeah.
But I feel it would be cheating if I mentioned that person. I'm gonna go Tommy Doyle.
Okay.
Tommy Doyle.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Getting back to the tree.
Yep.
Everything comes from the tree and then all the branches come off.
Yeah.
So at the very beginning, we meet Tommy Doyle, who has lived through some tough shit in his life. He's a survivor. We see early on the trauma of bullies knocking a pumpkin out of his hand.
Oh yeah.
His pumpkin's gone. It's gone. It's smashed. It's
Never have that recipe again.
It's like that Buddhist thing. The pumpkin was already smashed. Get over it. But Tommy doesn't. He's not a Buddhist. He doesn't know that.
He doesn't know about that.
He doesn't
He's
know
6.
That. So he's So it's a bad day for him. Then he gets there, and it's a Halloween night, and he's kind of he gets yelled at for reading comic books and all this other stuff he's doing. So he's having a rough time. But then he's the only one who sees the boogeyman.
Yep.
He's the only one who sees the boogeyman. And he's telling people, and they're calling him, that you're a liar, it's not true, there is no boogeyman, whatever. And then the boogeyman comes. And the boogeyman messes up a bunch of people.
Oh, yeah.
And then comes into that damn house he's in and change the time before and after. Before and after.
Yeah.
To the point that Jamie Lee Curtis, who doesn't believe him the entire time, I think her last lines in Halloween 1 is, "Was that the boogeyman?"
Yeah.
You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn.
Yeah.
And then next time we see him, it's in the
Halloween 6, I think.
Yeah, the trilogy that splits off the Cult of Thorn or whatever the hell that is. And
check out my wristband.
The next time we see him, we don't know who he is yet. We just know he's into pulling little babies out of public bathroom cabinets. So he saves this little baby out of a public bathroom cabinet that it's shoved into.
Yeah,
and we find out that
hobby.
is Tommy Doyle. And not only do we find out it's Tommy Doyle,
he's Paul Rudd, I think.
it's Paul Rudd.
Yeah, it's
You're
Paul
damn
Rudd.
right. It's Paul Rudd. So Tommy
It's his
Doyle
first movie.
grows up to be Paul freaking Rudd.
Sexiest man alive.
Just he's yeah.
Drop dead.
He's
Yeah.
and I got to tell you, I probably didn't pay attention to that trilogy until Paul Rudd came on screen. I did the same thing with the Avengers. I know I saw all the movies. They just weren't. I wasn't paying attention. They didn't catch me until Paul Rudd walked on.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh, the Avengers. So the next time we see Tommy Doyle, he's a big ass dude. He's Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah, that's right.
He's Anthony Michael Hall, one of my favorite actors. Anthony Michael Hall, who has gone from just being a geeky kid back in a bunch of John Hughes movies, took a break, came back, bulked up.
He got swole.
Well, he got swole. And then he plays all these different... He did the Dead Zone TV series.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
So, I mean, he's amazing. He's amazing. Now, next time we see Tommy Doyle, that's Tommy Doyle.
Yeah.
And he looks just like my cousin Eric. Cousin Eric?
He does.
And I love my cousin Eric. Therefore, I love Anthony Michael Hall by the transitive property.
Yeah, that's math.
That's simple math.
Yeah.
So I love Anthony Michael Hall. And then he runs through, when we see him in this new Tommy Doyle thing, we see him run around doing his best Jericho impersonation.
He's got the slugger.
He's got the
baseball
freaking
bat.
baseball bat the whole time. He's got the catchphrase of the year last year. Evil dies tonight.
Oh, yeah.
That was him. That was all him.
that.
Inspired me so much. I got it. You might not want to hear this. Inspired me so much. I got it as a tramp stamp last year for Christmas. So thank you, Anthony Michael Hall. But you can go ahead and put it down. So, ironically enough, you heard when I said that. So I think you. So anyway, that's my favorite. I love Tommy Doyle. As a kid, he was the only one who was right.
Yeah.
And then he came back as Paul Rudd and was saving babies out of public bathrooms. And then he comes back again as badass Anthony Michael Hall with a Louisville Slugger.
Yeah.
I love Tommy Doyle. The biggest mistake to me was it was like they looked at the scrotum and they said, we only want the left nut. And they cut the right nut off. Now, why don't you just take the scrotum? See, they kind of go together. The whole thing is a scrotum, right? Right?
Yeah.
The whole thing is a scrotum. If you just keep the whole scrotum. And they went, nap, just left. And they cut out Halloween 2. How do you go with Halloween 1 and not take Halloween 2? Now let's talk about legend. You have no Halloween 2.
Yeah.
So here's Michael's kill count. 1, he strangles a girl. 2, he strangles a girl with a telephone cord. 3, he pins a guy to a wall, which we've discussed can't happen. How does that guy with 3 kills sit at any serial killer table? Mm-hmm. You're talking Jeffrey Dahmer, son of Sam. You're talking Ted Bundy. You're talking Ramirez, Zodiac Killer.
Yeah.
Even Jack the Ripper had more kills.
Yeah.
And that was in the 1800s. Mm-hmm. So, why are you afraid of Mike Myers? I killed 3 people. 2 I strangled, 1 with a phone cord. Why is everybody afraid of Mike Myers? Why? He's a joke. He's a joke. If you take out the hospital and all the other stuff, he's a joke.
Smells like latex. That's it.
That's exactly. Exactly. So the mystique is gone. When you only take 1 nut, you have successfully neutered that legend. She hasn't seen him in 40 years, and she's got death traps that the Viet Cong are jealous about. The amount of money and planning and engineering that went into it.
What was her job? To pay for all of that.
To think that one day he might show up. So I've got to have a basement death trap, fake, iron gated
fire
with fire
crap.
Pit, whatever. Haha, we fooled you. None of that. Mm-hmm. No, that's you had a really shitty Halloween. Well, we've reached an end again. Through the power of your editing, all 22 hours, you will be able to get it to a tight 20 hours.
Yeah.
And this will be where?
If you want to see the longer extended version of this, you can swing by my YouTube channel, BriachiSwag.com.
I've been there. It's very cool. Very cool. So it's if you want the marathon reviews, that's where you'll always find debating a boomer. Mm-hmm. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun. And we'll be back next time with. Can I make a suggestion? Can I do one?
Hit me.
Because you've done some good ones so far. With the Batman and the Halloween franchises. Can we do a curveball one?
Okay.
Let's do our homework. We're both movie buffs. Mm-hmm. Let's do. It can be horror. We can even do comedy.
True.
Do a comedy. Maybe we'll do both. A comedy and a horror. Mm-hmm. You pick one of each. I'll pick one of each. That we absolutely love. That most people walk right past.
I like that. That's neat.
Challenge accepted.
I'm ready.
Whatever that. You learned. I'm your dad. You learned a long time ago. Don't pull the finger.